province of Sindh, land of Sufi saints, has seen many highs and lows in its long history. It reached the high point of its glory as long ago as 2600 years BCE, when Mohenjo-daro, its principal city, was the most developed city. After 5,000 years of practical oblivion, fortune smiled on Sindh once again when it was separated from the Bombay Presidency and given the status of a province in 1935. It reached the apogee of its luck when Karachi became the capital of Pakistan in 1947. The good fortune was, however, short-lived. In 1956, Sindh lost its identity once again as it was merged into the province of West Pakistan. For the next 14 years since then, it remained in limbo to be resurrected once more in 1970. During these ups and downs, the province remained practically neglected in all spheres of civic amenities. Particularly noticeable was the lack of development in the field of higher education. For example, although Sindh had become a separate province as far back as 1935, yet it was only after independence in 1947 that it could establish its first university, the Sindh University at Jamshoro. The University of Karachi was founded in 1951 and the Institute of Business Administration, Karachi, in 1955. After that, there was a long gap of 20 years. It was in 1977 that the NED University of Engineering and Technology at Karachi, the Sindh Agricultural University at Tandojam, and Mehran University of Engineering and Technology at Jamshoro were established, and later Shah Abdul Latif University at Khairpur, e-Awam University of Engineering, Science and Technology at Nawab Shah, and the Sakhar Institute of Business Administration have sprung up. The University of Sindh at Jamshoro has 34 departments and institutes. Karachi University is a prestigious institution included among the top 600 universities of the world, with 55 departments and affiliated institutes, more than 22,000 students on its roll, besides 150,000 students from affiliated colleges and registered private students. NED University of Engineering and Technology is a top-class institute of higher education. While NED caters for the students of Lower Sindh generally, Mehran University of Engineering and Technology and e-Awam University of Engineering, Science and Technology serve the students of Upper Sindh. Ideally located in the rural area of Tandojam, the Agricultural University has 37 departments and institutes to teach and produce highly qualified manpower in the field of agriculture. Shah Abdul Latif University, with its 31 departments, is the largest educational institution in Upper Sindh. The two institutes of business administration, one in Karachi, the other at Sakhar, catering respectively to urban and rural Sindh, are top-class educational institutions producing highly qualified personnel for the expanding market for business executives. During the last 6 years since 2002, Sindh has witnessed a phenomenal growth in the field of higher education, due principally to the active interest of Governor Dr. Ishrat-ul-Ebad Khan.
I would like to first introduce that as a Chancellor of the universities, when I took over in 2002, I found out the conditions and the overall situation in our universities was absolutely in a very, I would say, concerning manner. I firmly believe that higher education is directly related to the socio-economic dynamics of the province and the country. So we started formulating a strategy to combat all those problems and improve the overall situation in the universities. So first of all, I developed an ownership. I endeavored for a teamwork, and I had a meeting, conference with all the vice chancellors at that time and found out what are the reasons why our higher education is not up to the mark or is not improving. There were a number of problems which we identified at that point in time. And I was surprised that the issues which we were dealing at that time were related mostly to the administrative problems, and the administrative problems were so grave that we were not able to actually concentrate on the academics. For instance, the problems were like salaries, the financial health of the universities, even the utility bills were not paid by the university. So this was the overall picture of the universities and in terms of higher education.
The University of Sindh added 622 faculty members and 78 research associates. It also granted 70 PhD scholarships during the period, thereby raising the number of PhDs in the faculty to 121. Other mentionable improvements include construction of spacious buildings, lecture halls, laboratories, and libraries provided with most modern equipment, a high-tech center research laboratory for PhD students, a digital library, a multimedia center to provide online lecturing and conferencing facilities, as well as a new hostel for visiting faculty and the new building to house the Institute of Biochemistry and Microbiology, which Governor Dr. Ishrat-ul-Ebad inaugurated recently.
5-6 years ago, universities were confronted with a different kind of problems, basically primarily financial deficits, and the financial health was very poor. But since we improved the financial health as well, concentrated on academics and the research work, which is the basic work of the university.
Predictably, these improvements translated into a leap in student enrollment from a measly 8,000 in year 2001 to more than 20,000 since year 2002.
This university has a very sharp focus on research. In order to promote research, which brings new knowledge to us, to the students and to society, we have undertaken faster PhD and MPhil programs. We have registered with us 69 MPhil students and 99 PhD students during this period of 6 years.
As for the University of Karachi, it has undergone significant expansion in its academic programs, research and faculty development. The improvement of infrastructure, teaching and research facilities in the departments of chemistry, physics, food science and technology, Umar Basha Institute of Technology, and Dr. Feroz Ahmed Institute of Mass Communication has been carried out at a cost of 523 million rupees.
Within the last few years, there has been a major shift, and that major shift brought progress, that major shift brought confidence, that major shift brought a new era in the universities and higher learning institution in this province.
Another 438 million rupees have been spent on developing new departments, institutes and faculties. New hostels have been constructed with up-to-date facilities. A national center for proteomics and facilities in the Department of Pharmacy and Institute of Clinical Psychology are in the process of upgrading at a further cost of 507 million rupees.
The International Center for Chemical and Biological Sciences is comprised on two large centers. One is called Hussain Ibrahim Jamal Research Institute of Chemistry and the other is called Dr. Panjwani Center for Molecular Medicine and Drug Research. Now, over the years, these institutions have attracted international attentions, and perhaps this is the only institution in the world, developing world, where a large number of Western scientists are coming for research.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Kalamkas. I am foreigner student from Kazakhstan, Almaty city. Here I am doing a job with isolation. We have to get a new compound. It's very important for I think for medicine and for all chemistry also.
My name is Ristamova Khayala. I am from Azerbaijan. I come here during symposium, which 11th International Symposium. And after this, I meet how here education, how here work. After this, I decide to stay here long time and to do my PhD work here.
Every year we receive 20 German students for research training. So in a way, this becomes a window of Pakistani science internationally, and this represents the best of Pakistani science all across the world. I am absolutely delighted that we have been receiving a constant support from the Chancellor's office and support from the Vice Chancellor's office. This guidance and patronage is the major factor in the development of this world-class center.
For the first time in the history of Pakistan, Karachi University was listed among the 600 best universities of the world. Nationally, if we see, all public sector universities have been graded best levels in the higher education assessment.
The governor inaugurated the new herbarium, the botanical garden, the Institute of Halophyte Utilization, as well as the new building of the hostel for visiting faculty and the Department of Food, Science and Technology. These additions and improvements have transformed the University of Karachi into the state-of-the-art higher education learning institute.
The governor and chancellor, he immensely supported us, and I have seen that each and every step where the support is required, the support was there. And just talking with the and inquiring with the Vice Chancellor that what are the needs and what should be given to the universities, in which way we can progress. So a concern showed by the Chancellor and supporting us at each and every step was the hallmark, of this era.
We also provided a number of facilities and opportunities to the students which were not present before. For instance, digital libraries. We have introduced and we have established digital libraries in our universities.
The NED University of Engineering and Technology likewise received a facelift since year 2002. With the addition of new departments, their total number has risen to 18. A spate of new constructions has come up. Laboratories, libraries, classrooms and hostel facilities have been upgraded and most up-to-date equipments have been installed. The new buildings that the governor inaugurated include the Students' Service Center and Instrumentation Center with advanced facilities, the Center for Automotive Engineering, Center for Simulation Modeling, Industrial Engineering and Textile Engineering departments.
We have at the same time established student support centers in our university to guide them for their future prospects, and that has proved to be a very vital forum for the students to decide in terms of their future progression, in terms of their future employment and future utility and application of their education and studies.
The Sindh Agricultural University has undergone a near transformation during the last 6 years. A sum of 220 million rupees was spent on upgrading laboratory and library needs, providing research facilities, training of farmers and food processing, construction of buildings for various departments and students' hostels. Another 27 million rupees have gone to building centers for development of animal product technologies, and a similar amount has been spent over the establishment of fruit and vegetable processing center, which were inaugurated by Governor Dr. Ishrat-ul-Ebad.
On the academic side, now we have enforced merit in all our universities. The admission criteria has been in a transparent form. The appointment of various posts in universities, it is totally on merit, and there is a transparency in all the appointments. For instance, for appointment of Vice Chancellor, previously we had a mechanism that the Chancellor has a full discretion of picking anybody and appoint him. But now we have established a search committee of various renowned personalities. That search committee receives application, advertise the post, then receive application and go through a detailed search mechanism. And after that, they, out of whatever number of people apply for the post, they recommend to the Chancellor 3 or 4 people who are the best for the post. So therefore, there is a consultative mechanism now built in the appointment of the Vice Chancellors. Then we had the provision of Pro-Vice Chancellors, because our universities have now expanded. So we have appointed Pro-Vice Chancellors through the same process. And I would like to mention here that for the first time in the history of Sindh especially, in our universities in interior of Sindh, for instance, in Sindh University, a lady Pro-Vice Chancellor was appointed, and in Sherpur, a lady Vice Chancellor was appointed.
And Dr. Ishrat-ul-Ebad Khan took a very challenging decision by appointing the first lady Vice Chancellor in a university in Sindh.
Shah Abdul Latif University upgraded its facilities in various departments and built a top-class herbarium, botanical garden, and a museum at a cost of 465 million rupees.
The Higher Education Commission has also given a number of grants for development projects, and the Sindh government, with the initiative of Dr. Ishrat-ul-Ebad Khan, has given a proper status to the universities and has encouraged the academic activities and projects, and they are sending their projects and monitoring the projects, giving a good status to our university.
So ultimately our aim is to have a competence, because today we understand that globally it is the competition, it is the competitiveness with which one can survive.
The Mehran University of Engineering and Technology witnessed enormous development during the period under review, initiating a number of mega projects at a cost of 900 million rupees. Of special importance amongst the new additions are the most advanced Central Library and Online Information Center, Institute of Communication Technology and the Institute of Environmental Engineering, inaugurated by the Chancellor of the University cum Governor of Sindh, Dr. Ishrat-ul-Ebad.
During this period of time, we have doubled the enrollment, because that was the prime requirement of this region. The reason being, the population has gone up and the number of seats were limited. So we have doubled the strength, so that means we have provided the accessibility to the population to become engineers, and that has been more than doubled. At the same time, we are focusing, which is the true sense of a university, that we are focusing on PhDs and postgraduate programs and to do research. We salute the wisdom and vision of the present government, and I hope it will keep on continuing.
One support that has really supported us in all our achievement was the federal government funding. That used to be in 2002-03, it used to be 0.2% of the GDP. That ratio has been improved from 0.2% to 2%. 1.8% increase in the funding of the higher education, and that has tremendous impact on the overall functioning and improvement of the universities and higher education.
During the last 6 years, there has been a great emphasis on physical infrastructure, faculty development, and expansion of facilities. The HEC and the government of Sindh have increased their financial grant for IBA. This has enabled us to make sure that even the poorest student coming from the most backward area of Pakistan and particularly Sindh, if he or she is selected on merit through the IBA entrance exam and is able to secure a seat in IBA, she or he is completely assured of financial support.
In IBA, in 2003, there were maybe 3-4 PhDs, but today we have more than 25 PhDs. And in all universities, the PhDs have improved and increased about 100, 200 or even 300%.
Liaquat Medical College at Jamshoro, which was upgraded as Liaquat University of Medical and Health Sciences in 2001, has lately added the Institute of Molecular Biology to its departments, besides further developing its 20 departments and institutes.
Since last 6 years, we got the funding with the help of the Governor House and Governor Sindh Ishrat-ul-Ebad Khan, and we are grateful to him for supporting the academic activities in the universities, and we got the funding of around 900 million, and 900 million has been utilized for academics, postgraduate activities as well as the research activities.
e-Awam University of Engineering, Science and Technology completed 11 projects costing 271 million rupees since 2002, improving existing facilities and adding new departments such as departments of electronics engineering and environmental energy, which were inaugurated by the governor.
Graduates who pass out from those universities, be that the public sector or the private sector university, they are employed straight away, and there is a demand for certain universities graduate. So that is itself speaks the performance and the academic qualities and the quality of the teaching of higher education and research work in our various universities.
Dr. Ishrat-ul-Ebad has set the example to demonstrate what dedicated endeavor can achieve. By all accounts, the progress made in the higher education sector in Sindh during his tenure is unprecedented. He set himself to the task from day one. So after barely 1 year of his assuming the reins of the office, the Dow University of Health Sciences was established.
I would like to especially mention Dow University of Health Sciences. Since I was also a graduate of Dow Medical College, so I had a passion to repay. I felt myself indebted of my alma mater, and I thought I should repay at this position whatever I could do. So I have upgraded that college to Dow University of Health Sciences, and fortunately now we see the improvement in very short time, how this university has improved both in academics and in health delivery system. It has contributed tremendously.
I would like to thank His Excellency Governor Sindh for his cooperation, coordination in improving the standard of higher education. I would like to talk about higher education in Sindh with reference to the healthcare system. During his tenure, Dow University of Health Sciences was established. When it was established in the year 2003, Dow University had only 3 constituent institutions. At present, Alhamdulillah, we have got 24 institutions and departments, out of which I would like to add and name few, like Institute of Nursing, Institute of Medical Technology, another medical college, Dr. Ishrat-ul-Ebad Institute of Oral Health Sciences, College of Pharmacy, Institute of Physical Medicine and Rehabilitation, Institute of Health Management, and so on and so forth. Mentioning these institutes and departments, I would like to mean that with the establishment of university, there has been enormous growth, and this growth has taken place just to fulfill the gap of the human resource in this country.
My name is Aram Amir. I'm coming from Sydney, Australia. I chose Dai University of Health Sciences because it has a very good reputation all over Pakistan and it opened a new campus for us international students.
My name is Aisha Hamid. I'm from Toronto, Canada. I'm here to Karachi to Dow University of Health Sciences as a medical student. I'm currently studying in a second year of MBBS. Well, I think Dow University of Health Sciences, especially Dow International Medical College, provides a wonderful opportunity to the students of Pakistani origin who are living abroad to come here, study. Academically, I think Dow is giving us the best they can since it's one of the topmost medical university in Pakistan. We have the best professors from the city and the best available resources that any medical student can wish for.
But it was the establishment of the Dow University of Health Sciences in 2003, just a year after Dr. Ishrat-ul-Ebad took over as the governor of the province, that will be remembered as a landmark event in the history of higher education in Sindh. It was the result solely of the new governor's initiative and dedicated effort. And in recognition of his service, the university established Dr. Ishrat-ul-Ebad Institute of Oral Health Sciences for advanced education in dentistry. The institute and the Department of Medical Genetics were inaugurated in 2007 by the governor.
That is a teamwork. The team in my office, they have performed with a absolute dedication. We have established, as I said, a search committee for the Vice Chancellors. We have also established a monitoring committee for the monitoring and evaluation of the development projects. We have a monitoring committee for assessment of the overall growth and overall improvement of the universities. Everyone who is involved in the university, who is involved in the higher education, professors, lecturers, demonstrators, teachers, students, all should work as a team.
With the development in the higher education sector, a new era has emerged, which is unprecedented in the history of province. It is just a beginning. There is still a long way to go. But I am sure with the vision of the Chancellor and the experienced team of Vice Chancellors we have, I am sure we'll be able to achieve our goals.
Prospects look propitious for a brighter future with the popular government in the saddle. Governor Dr. Ishrat-ul-Ebad has blazed the trail, and now it is for his successors to carry on with the noble task of providing more and still better facilities for higher education for posterity. The light of learning must brighten the life of every individual in the land of Bithai and Sachal, who were endowed with knowledge, both spiritual and temporal.